We have a big week in crypto this week. We'll be discussing that and more on this week's version of the Weekend Report. I'd like to welcome up my guest, Juan G. How you doing this week, sir?
Fired up. Another third day of Monday in February, so it must be Washington's birthday. Let's go.
Nice. Okay, without getting too much into it, we'll go right into the charts. I want to get through all the charts and then get to this week's news as quick as possible. We have the Bitcoin chart, and currently we are sitting at 95,951, below the 96,000, which, as we pointed out on the stream on last Thursday, we've been ranging in this 96 to 96.5 for, what are we going on? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, like 2 weeks now. And every time we've dipped into this buy zone, we have popped right back up. So we are consolidating sideways. Some of the altcoins have taken a hit, Solana especially, which we will go into some reasons as to why that could possibly be. But everything's looking good on the Bitcoin front. We'll scroll down real quick. I also wanted to, while we're in the charts here, I will bring up the Sol chart. As I had mentioned, Solana hasn't been doing very well the last several weeks, kind of on a downtrend here. And then today, this red candle here, there's a pretty good reason for that. And we will discuss that as well. Here is the inflows for Bitcoin. As you can see, we did have 4 days here of outflows, but we are back in the inflows as of Friday. Today's hasn't been posted yet, but I'm pretty sure from what I've seen on the on-chain data that we have had another day of inflows. Scooting right over to the CBBI, we are currently at a 73 out of 100. Looking down at the actual chart comparison, we're still looking good there. Nowhere near the cycle top yet, according to all of these major indicators. So that is pretty much the charts. I did want to also mention to you one I didn't mention to you earlier, but where am I? Sorry, I was going to bring back up. Here we go. We talked about it a little bit on Thursday about Pi Network, and it's going to be launching on Thursday to mainnet at 4 a.m. Eastern time. So we're all looking forward to that. I'm going to be showing a little bit of information here in a minute on Pi and where it can be traded, which exchanges so far have been confirmed, unconfirmed, and which ones are rumored to be confirming soon. And then the other thing that I wanted to mention is tomorrow, the FTX repayments begin. We touched on this on Thursday. There's going to be close to $15 billion worth of repayments to all those that were affected by the FTX crash. A lot of those that were affected were in the Solana network, whether it be on a Solana itself or in the ecosystem, not in the meme coins, but in solid platforms like Radium and Jupiter, et cetera. So a lot of those repayments are going to be made to those individuals. And, there's speculation that a lot of that money could go back into the Solana ecosystem. And of course, a majority of it as well will be going into Bitcoin. So it should be pretty bullish for the market overall. Today was another day where the markets looked like they were showing a bit of strength. And then, there was a little bit of news about a rug, which we will talk about here briefly. I'm going to bring the chart back up, Ethereum, because we also mentioned last week during the stream that it seemed every time Ethereum was showing a little bit of strength, something happened in the market and it dumped it. And the same thing happened again today. This is on the daily candle. I'm going to actually go to the hourly so we can have a better view of exactly what I'm referring to. Here's the hourly on Ethereum. And as you can see, we were showing a lot of strength this morning. Ethereum was actually on a pump and it was kind of leading the market. And then something happened, a little bit of news about, governmental stuff. And then the big one was the potential rug pull that happened today. And we'll talk about it in a minute here. But as you can see, the market dumped and Ethereum just followed. It's unfortunate. It's showing a little bit of strength and rebounding right now, but it's really too bad because Ethereum has tried to show strength. And every time that's happened, something has happened in the market. You can see it happened back here as well a couple of days ago. Ethereum was on a bit of a run, and then something happened with Bitcoin and the rest of the market, and it dumped down. We are still, above the 200 DMA here, which is really, really good. And it looks like it's trying to maintain its strength. So we'll see what happens. Maybe tomorrow with the FTX repayments, that might, solidify the pump, or at least continue the pump for Ethereum and the rest of the altcoins. But we'll have to wait for tomorrow to see what happens there. Juan, I'm not sure if you had anything to add to that about the FTX repayments.
Well, I've been a big proponent in mentioning about Ethereum and making sure that it continues its upward trajectory and hopefully start our altcoin season. Yeah, definitely was disappointed today when we saw that dip down, but I'm hoping that this rebound stays strong and continues it's back on its upward trajectory, because I think Ethereum is trying to kind of reinterject itself into people's minds. So hopefully it'll continue on that trajectory, and FTX could be, congratulations to those who to get that money back. I'm really happy for you guys, and I hope it serves you the way it should, whether it's for personal use or being back into reinvestment in the market. And we'll hopefully see some of that kind of pave its way into the crypto market and kind of reinvigorize it, right? But at the end of the day, we still have tax season as well. And I think people are kind of looming and waiting. And that's why we're not seeing these huge spikes yet, right? We're just wait and see mode.
Yeah, and the other bullish thing too is I don't have the chart handy, but the Bitcoin to Ethereum chart has pretty much bottomed. It's showing a little bit of support where it currently is now. So, hopefully, fingers crossed, because if Ethereum can finally show strength and begin to rise in price, it could pull up the other altcoins with it, because altcoins are still down 40-70% in some cases. Meanwhile, Bitcoin is still hovering between this 95, 96 to 100,000 range. And Bitcoin is showing strength. Now we just need Ethereum to lead the charge and have the altcoins show strength as well. So let's move on to the next topic. I want to talk about Pi before we head to the potential rug pull that we have alluded to. I'm going to refer to this article that I had found. Pi network to launch in a few days. This obviously is a day or two old, and as I mentioned, it does launch on Thursday at 4 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. So here was the actual email or tweet, however they sent it out to the pioneers. Pioneers Open Network will launch at 8 a.m. UTC on February 2025, like I mentioned, 4 a.m. UTC Eastern Time. Millions of KYC verified pioneers and a thriving utilities-driven ecosystem. Open Network expands available opportunities, which allow pioneers to connect Pi with external systems for use in real-world applications like never before. One exchange that has been confirmed has been OKX. They're ready to go for the Pi launch. Now, this is the Pi chart. It actually has broken out of this channel that it was in for this is the daily chart. Yeah, so several days. We're going back all the way to November, December of last year. But with the news of the Pi finally launching on mainnet, it did have a nice spike up. As you can see, I mentioned it here. MACD showing bullish momentum. What did the price go up to? 76 to 37 at the low point. And then it did pump up to 90, I believe it was $94. It says somewhere here in the article. Anywho, the 4-hour time frame they observe that the money flow index, the MFI reading, continues to rise. All bullish indicators so far on Pi chart. The MACD, obviously the RSI is up, the volume is up. So everything is looking pretty good. Now, I'm not sure, I read here somewhere, here we go. When looking at Pi coin price, according to this, the demand for Pi continues to rise. The price could rise to $100. Now, there are many conflicting reports as to exactly, what the circulating supply will be. It all depends on how many Pi were transferred to mainnet on the Pi network. So the circulating supply is not exact, but I mean, I guess it'll all depend on how many actually go into circulation, how many Pi the pioneers actually are able to withdraw from their wallet and put onto exchanges. So that'd be remains to be seen. I've always stated that I'd be happy even if it was at 20, 25 cents, but there are a lot of people with even more bullish predictions, like this one here, for example, into the hundreds. On the contrary, if it gets overbought, Pi coin price could experience a correction. If that happens, the value could slide to 75.63. If selling pressure increases, it could drop to as low as $60. I'd be ecstatic at those prices, but whether or not that occurs, that remains to be seen, as I said, and we'll find out on Thursday morning. Did you have anything to add there, Juan, before we move on to the next topic?
Yeah, I just want to kind of make sure that everybody's listening is still aware that there are Pi IOUs still being traded. There's a huge pump, about like a 40%, 44% pump in these IOUs. And I don't want people getting confused between what they actually have and what they're buying and what they're not actually getting. Keep your eyes out there. IOUs are speculations, like kind of like paper trading. It does not really reflect the in real world price of launch. So don't start buying Lamborghinis and houses with the Pi you think you have on your phone, because that price is speculatory. And please be aware of those websites and sites that want you to connect your wallet and to verify your price. Do not connect your wallet anywhere. Safety first. Wait for the official launch, and please use only official exchanges.
Exactly. Very good advice. Okay, moving on to our last topic. I'm not sure if you've heard, I'm sure many of you had, but Argentinian President Javier Milei, apparently he launched a meme coin called Libra. Whether or not it was him or someone that was using him as kind of as an influence, but Libra launched, and it shot all the way up to $4.5 billion market cap, and it had a 24-hour volume of $1.1 billion. So it grew really, really fast. A lot of people aped into it. There were a lot of influencers and KOLs involved in this. But then insiders, those who were privy to the launch prior and who purchased a fairly large bag, they dumped 87.4 million in a matter of 3 hours, sending the price vertically downwards. It had all the earmarks of a rug pull, although there's a huge wallet with 50% of the tokens and another one with, I believe, 10 or 15%. None of those were touched. I don't know if they are the dev wallets or locked liquidity wallets or whatever they were, but they haven't been touched. But there were a lot of people that did dump. The president of Argentina promptly deleted his tweet and said that he was not involved in it. It's a big mess. It's a big scandal. And because it was launched on Meteora, on Solana, as I showed earlier, the price chart had taken a dip and it continues to slide simply because this was, it's a kind of a black mark on the Solana network. We have all the other meme coins that are being launched on Pump.fun. Last week or a couple of weeks ago, we had the Trump coin and the Milana coin. And we all know what happened there. Liquidity flowed in from alts, and of course, people pulled their money out of that. So it's not exactly a great look. And the Argentinian president has since reposted a tweet about it, basically trying to say that it was not a rug and that he wants it to continue. But as I said, it's kind of a black mark on the meme coin space and the crypto space, and especially on the Solana ecosystem. Juan.
It's unfortunate that these things happen, and especially when it happens at a government level. My interests are about if the U.S. is going to protect its citizens from another foreign country, right? And in this case, are they going to go after Argentina and their president, right? If it's found that they did do a rug pull, we're not sure. I think that's a possibility. I don't see why not. I think that if any other company would have done this, they would have faced repercussions, right? So why would a country not face the same level of consequences? So that's going to be interesting to see from that perspective. I think that we should, always be able to hold people accountable for these rug pulls, right? At the end of the day, I don't want to lose faith in the institutions of crypto because of some crazy Libra level, and just to even go on the word Libra, I'm a Libra myself, so that's a little disappointing that using my sign there. But with that being said, right?
Ditto.
I think that there's an opportunity there for people to be able to find alternative avenues for wealth freedom, right? Because at the end of the day, we know these things happen. This is why we have to be careful. This is why we vet stuff. This is why we look through paperwork and what we're supposed to do when looking at that. But it's kind of hard when the government is the face of it, and you think you should be able to trust your government, right? So, I mean, those are the concerns I have there when it comes to Libra. I think that at the end of the day, we just need to focus on, are we going to be able to hold people accountable for this, and what can we do going forward? So, my heart goes out to those who may have lost good chunks of money. I think I don't know how many million of dollars is gone, right? But
Yeah.
it's unfortunate. It's unfortunate.
It's disheartening. And, you mentioned being held accountable. As long as he is transparent, he can provide wallet addresses and he can do certain things to kind of clear his name, so to speak. But I think where the confusion was a few weeks ago, President Javier had mentioned he wanted to do some kind of a crypto, not a reserve, not like what the U.S. and other countries are doing with a Bitcoin reserve, but he wanted to do some kind of reserve to help the country financially. And I think a lot of people may have mistook this for that token. Uh, so the whole thing is like you said, is very unfortunate. And then information came out after that one of the founders, one of the ones actually created the token, admitted that the team had sniped Libra, so they sniped it right off the launch. Which, yeah, right there is a huge red flag. It's unfortunate. I hope it gets cleared up. And I'm hoping personally that the president wasn't involved himself, and that all that can be cleared up and just chalk it up to another stupid meme coin. Which I'm really hoping that people are starting to learn by now that 99% of the people do not win when it comes to meme coins. You will lose money. Okay, and our last topic of the day is the administration has mentioned that they are going to be doing an audit on Fort Knox. They want to make sure that all of the gold that the U.S. claims to have, that they actually do have. This is the current price of gold right here. And I'm going to go to the daily. Now, it had been doing really, really well, and it still is. But Juan, since you are kind of the resident expert on gold and you like to follow it very closely, how do you think this is going to impact gold? I mean, let's say hypothetically the audit comes back that there is gold missing from the reserve. What do you think happens to the price of gold, if anything? Do you think it's just going to be kind of the paper gold that goes to the wayside? The actual physical gold will be enough to keep the price up, or do you think it'll just be a nothing burger?
Honestly, I think it's going to be a nothing burger. I mean, I've said this before. The Pentagon has lost billions of dollars, and they talk about it for like 2 days, a week, and then nothing happens anyway. No one gets held accountable. Nothing happens. So at the end of the day, I'm not really concerned about it. And just more than just the Pentagon, you look at what the gold standard is. We haven't used the gold standard since 1933. So again, nothing burger. It doesn't affect the price of the dollar. So not important there. And plus the value. I think they are currently valuing it at $62 billion in Fort Knox, which is a huge undersell. I think that has it at $42 per troy ounce.
Yeah, I was going to say it's back in 1977 prices. Yeah.
Right. And it's $2,900 right now.
Yeah.
Right. So again, if anything, seeing that huge amount of a dollar amount will only bolster gold, if anything. Right. And let's say something is missing, it'll just make gold that much rarer. So I just don't see it being a bad thing in either thing. I think that there are other priorities that they could focus on, and I've mentioned this to you in our conversations. So I just don't see how this is going to be a problem. So in actuality, yeah, nothing burger. It's just, I think people are just flexing their muscles right now. New admin, taking names and kicking ass out there. So I'm hoping that they just get back to crypto and see what's next.
Agreed. Yeah, I as well believe that it probably won't be. It may affect the price very short term. It may, just from paper hands, but yeah, I don't think it'll affect it too much. And I was just looking at the chart now, and this is kind of bullish. The stochastic RSI is dipped into this oversold territory, but the price really hasn't moved much. It's kind of holding up up there, which is really, really good to see. Goes back to what you said on our stream on Thursday, that you feel it might have a bit of a cool off and then continue its run. So it looks like that is exactly what's going to happen. Very interesting.
Yeah, I mean, we talked about it. That little concern when it was oversold, and just in a few days, boom, right? It got back into oversold,
Oversold, yeah.
sold, yeah, territory,
Yeah.
and it's holding well, and I foresee it being back on track. I think that again, same thing. You might see another dip only because people are still trying to figure out what's next steps, right?
Mhm.
And if they need to pull money, they're going to pull it from gold to buy the new crypto, buy Pi, right? I think Pi is going could be one of those things that might be worth investing.
Good.
And you're going to see some of that movement, and then you'll see it go back on track to hit 3,000.
Perfect. And one other thing I wanted to show before we leave the charts here, I forgot to mention, down here in 2 days is the FOMC meeting, so our minutes. So that always creates volatility with Bitcoin. So we'll see how that plays out. Okay, that is the news for today for the weekend report. Last thing I wanted to share with everyone is we have a new partnership with, oh, my bad, with an exchange called Blowfin. I'm sure a lot of you have heard of it. I just wanted to quickly mention that they have given a nice campaign to the weekly roundtable. You can, for net deposits, you can receive cash back. You can also receive 10% on all of your trading fees using the link in the description. You can also earn up to $5,000 USDT bonus. So you can either scan this QR code, which will be, you can pause the video and do that now, or use the link in the description. So we'd like to thank Blowfin for sponsoring the channel. It's great to see. Okay, Juan, nice short video, 21 minutes. We're pretty much right on par. Got as much information out as we could. So everyone, yep, tomorrow is the FTX repayments. They begin, so expect volatility in Solana and Bitcoin, hopefully, if people decide to reinvest. And then, of course, the Pi network goes to mainnet on Thursday. Juan G, I'd like to thank you very much again for joining me. And don't forget, everyone, this is not financial advice. This is for entertainment and educational purposes only. It should not be taken as actual financial advice because we are not financial advisors. Please hit the like and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. And we will see everybody on Thursday. Thanks again, Juan.
Thank you. I love being here. Can't wait to see you on Thursday.
Take care, guys.